Would you or anyone you know like to be able to prepare meals for your family from your kitchen pantry or your prepper pantry during times of power outages, emergencies, disasters, and be able to do so without breaking the bank or your budget by just spending a little bit of your time and a $20 bill? You can. And in this video, I'm going to set up that kitchen to see exactly what we can and can't do with that $20 kitchen. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you 3 awesome ways that you can upgrade this grid down starter kitchen . And the soup, 7.5 minute mark. Spaghetti and meatballs is boiling. This is the soup. It is hot, but it's not boiling. Spaghetti and meatballs is done and has been for several minutes actually. So I'm going to take it off of there and get the stove ready for the next test. Problem that you might encounter with the alcohol stove, because it does burn hot and fast. If you don't keep up with it, what you're doing, you might get a little bit of burnt or scorched stuff on the bottom, just like I did. That's how long we've been cooking. The quick flame, almost 170. And while it's not boiling, it is very hot. So we're going to take that one off and get this one ready for the next test as well. And some of you guys in previous videos expressed a concern that these cans that I'm using for legs for that stove might get too hot. So I'm going to show you some temperatures. 83, 83, 80. The cans are only a couple of degrees or so hotter than room temperature. So getting too hot isn't really a concern that I have, and it's not something that I'm seeing. But you could always use empty cans. Heating the food was a success with primary and secondary fuels. So the next test is boiling water. How much water to boil? Quick Oats for 1 serving says 1 cup. This Mountain House says 1 3/4 cups. And for these, it says 2 cups. So we're going to try to boil 2 cups of water. All right, the 5-minute mark. A little bit of steam coming off, a few little bubbles. Not boiling. The quick flame up to 100 degrees. 10-minute mark. Getting much closer. Quick flame at about 130. 15-minute mark. That's the alcohol stove. Is almost at 160. The 20-minute mark, it is up to about 180. Will it ever get there? Yes, that is water left over from the alcohol burning. 25-minute mark. The quick flame almost at 200 degrees. A little past the 30-minute mark. Oh yeah, look at that. So roughly the 30-minute mark, the quick flame was boiling 2 cups, 16 ounces of water. So what does heating the water really hot, or in this case boiling it, what does that let us do? Lets us make instant coffee. It would also let us make regular coffee in a French press. The water does not have to boil for that. And if you can keep your water at a rolling boil with either of these for a couple minutes, you can make drinking water safe to drink. A big feature potentially for your alcohol and maybe for your quick flame. But you got to be sure you bring it to a rolling boil. Not too good, but it is instant coffee. So 1 cup water, 1/2 cup, 2. All right, the oatmeal is ready for your maple syrup, butter, ghee, whatever you might want to add it into it, your raisins. And that was on the quick flame. And it would certainly work as well on the alcohol stove. The next thing we're going to do is try to fry. And I'm going to do 1 stove at a time because I don't want to try frying on 2 different stoves at the same time. I've already scorched some stuff just boiling on 2 stoves at the same time. So first, we're going to use the alcohol stove with sardine can. We're going to use a cast iron griddle from Lodge. We're going to fry turkey sausage and an egg. I know you won't have that in your Prepper Pantry a year and a half after the grid goes down. Probably not the eggs either. But the point of today's video is to see if we can fry on our $20 grid down kitchen. So we're going to start with the alcohol stove, then we'll move on to the quick flame. And of course, anytime that you're going to be cooking indoors in a power outage or a grid down situation, using stoves like we're using today, you got to have a fire extinguisher and a carbon monoxide detector. Very, very important to have those. Here's one reason why. The alcohol stove, used this way. See that? It is a big flame, and it could potentially catch your grease on fire. There's the sausage. Now the egg. The alcohol went out frying the sausage, so I'm putting more back in. But this, you would never ever add this if there was still a flame going. That would be a disaster. A little messy on the egg. There's our sausage and eggs, or sausage and egg. So is that the ideal stove? No, it's not, but it works. But you do have to be very careful. Remember, you gotta have them. You got to. Now, let's move on to the quick flame and see what we can do with that. With quick flame again, a non-stick skillet that said to put a little bit of oil in it when you used it. It's the first time I've used this skillet, so I might burn everything badly. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure if the quick flame with the liquid type fuel in it is going to make it when it comes to frying. Conceivably that egg will get finished or done in a little while, but I would not want to depend upon the quick flame for frying. So with their $20 kitchen and frying, we will have to stick with the alcohol stove. This is quick flame in the gel, and it is available at the Dollar Tree. Now let's try one of those three upgrades. Sterno Green Gel Fuel. Let's see if we can fry the sausage using this. Okay, last time with the quick flame liquid fuel, the skillet was getting up to like 260, 270, and now I'll show you a little bit of difference. It's getting up to 360, 350s. And to give you an idea of the difference that makes, I'm going to crack another egg and put it in this skillet. So it did well with our egg. Now that's the way I like mine. You might like yours differently, and that's okay. All right, we're going to try a piece of the turkey sausage to see what it does. So with the new and improved Sterno fuel, the gel fuel, we were able to get sausage and eggs fried. But before we end the video, try the carbon steel skillet, which is a little bit thinner than the cast iron, and this one. for those of you who might still be interested, cans after a couple of hours of cooking, 94, 86. And so with this $20 grid down Dollar Tree kitchen and the 2 stoves and fuel combinations that we have, from what we learned today, the type of foods that you would be able to fix during power outages, emergencies, disasters, SHTF even, would include all those that you see here and many, many more also. So with a less than $20 kitchen, if you keep enough fuel on hand, you can have nearly any kind of food that you want. You can make a whole host of different types of meals and foods. At the beginning of the video, I told you guys I'd show you 3 ways to easily upgrade your grid down starter kitchen. One would be a better type of Sterno type fuel. Doesn't have to be Sterno brand, but a gel type rather than the liquid type. You will find that the gel type cooks, heats, fries a little bit quicker. That is a French press, Stanley brand. If you can heat and or boil water, you can make coffee. And the awesome, relatively cheap stove is a butane stove. This stove will allow you to fix anything that you would fix on your regular kitchen stove. 1 burner, of course, at a time. If you'd like more about safe indoor grid down cooking, you will really like this video here.